warm welcome to all our TeeTime viewers. Thank you for tuning into TeeTime. I'm Chetty Narula and a big hello from Clover Greens right here in Bangalore. Rather very beautiful course, but unusually a little bit warm weather today to play golf. Nevertheless, doesn't stop our game of golf. Joining me today on the show is a red herring top global company winner, Infinite Computer Solutions, which is also listed, and the managing director and CEO, Upinder Zutshi, joins me on TeeTime to discuss his forecast for the year going forward.
On the show this week, we have Upinder Zutshi, MD and CEO, Infinite Computer Solutions.
The majority of the employee base and the work that gets done continues to be done in the US. So as a result of the revenue that we generate is significantly higher in the US than what we do in India.
In news, Anirban Lahiri wins McLeod Russell Tour Championship, and Rashid Khan wins PGTI Order of Merit.
What a beautiful tee off, Upinder. Welcome to TeeTime.
Thank you.
So you play at Clover Greens very often?
Once a week, whenever I'm in Bangalore, I try to play at least every Saturday.
What is it about the course that fascinates you, and what is it about the course that you love so much?
It's as you see, it's a beautiful course. Normally the weather is very nice in Bangalore. Unfortunately, today is an unusually hot day.
Yeah.
So I've been playing. In fact, the first time I started playing on this course was 5 years back. I just started the course. So it's been since then. It's my home course. I play once in a while in other courses also, but this is where I play most of the time.
All right, so let's start off with your company. Your recent long-term deal wins. Good expectation of growth trajectory for this fiscal year going forward?
Right. Yes, it is. I mean, if at the start of the year we had given a guidance of about 15% revenue growth.
Sure.
We did 255 million last year. So we expect to do about 290 to 295 million this year. So it's been fairly good. I mean, if you look at our history of the last 5 years, we have done an average CAGR of about 30% as far as revenue is concerned, and about 40% as far as operating margin is concerned.
So now we're seeing the rupee declining. So the INR depreciation, is it impacting the IT players in a huge way this year?
Yes, it is. Obviously, if rupee goes down, since most of our revenue comes from the, an export business.
Sure.
So it is definitely an advantage. But what really happens sometimes is that, because of the volatility of the rupee, that creates a problem. But if rupee depreciates, it's always good news for IT companies because, your revenue is on dollar terms. So that is an advantage for us as well as for the industry.
Sure. It's time now for me to tee off on that note.
Perfect.
And we continue our discussion. Now with the rise of technology like mobile and internet, do you think these are creating various opportunities for entrepreneurship in our country?
Yes, it does, because it opens new avenues. I mean, if you look at the amount of data that is there in the marketplace, and with big data coming in, that completely transforms the way the data is handled. The first phase of our growth, which took us to 100 billion plus, was essentially leveraging cost, which still is important. It was leveraging skills, and it was also leveraging our process excellence. And we know how to deliver globally and use global delivery model. But now that's commoditized. So what is happening going forward and what the customer is expecting is not just the input or the cost arbitrage, but actually be a partner to the customer and create solutions to their business problems. And there lies the opportunity for companies like us and other companies to look at various domains, look at various technologies, and also look at different engagement models. Social, as you rightly said, is a huge. Mobility, messaging, the next generation messaging is a huge, huge opportunity. I mean, the way we communicated 2 years back, we probably used text or SMS, is completely changed.
Sure.
Now we have rich communication. You have, what we call as OTT applications like WhatsApp and so on and so forth. So to counter that challenge, the operators, and that's where the traditional strength of a company like us comes in,
yeah.
is to counter and create a platform that is better, more functionally enriched and feature-rich than, say, some of these OTT applications.
Let's go over the ecosystem of early stage funding, incubation, and peer learning experiences for startups in this country, which is just kicking in now because of the onslaught of these technologies, of course.
Take a company like ourselves. I mean, 2000, we took a very bold step and we acquired and spent a significant amount of money, about $14 million, and acquired a legacy platform from Motorola Networks.
Sure.
Which was a platform that supported SMS and MMS, service. Supports about 100 million subscribers in the US, 900 billion messages. It's a massive platform. So we saw an opportunity at that time. This is about 3 years back. We didn't have the OTT application at that point in time. So we saw the opportunity. We invested in that and built a product which we launched last year, which what we call as the RCS, which is the next generation messaging platform that operators around the world are going to deploy over the next 18 to 24 months. So there are a lot more companies like us who are doing that, who are taking that plunge and moving away from the comfort zone that we kind of are used to, and building, providing not just services, but actually building products and building very scalable products. And this product that we have built is a classic example of that.
Yeah, so huge opportunities right there for growing startups in India, given the onslaught of technology. And I'm glad you mentioned Motorola, because that's something exactly what we're going to be discussing on the other side of this break. So it's a good time now for us to take a breather on TeeTime. Mr. Zutshi, the CEO and Managing Director of Infinite Computer Solutions, and I, Chaiti Narula, we will see you on the other side. So welcome back. We left off, of course, at the Motorola deal. Your deal win from Motorola, would you be now perceived as a preferred vendor for similar deals in future, in your opinion?
Obviously, when we first won that deal, we were a services company. So there was no track record of executing a project like this. And as I mentioned, this is not just a small product, it's a platform that supports the messaging infrastructure of over 100 million people in the US.
Sure.
900 plus billion messages. It's a huge platform. And for the last 4 years, we took over this product from a brand like Motorola Networks. Obviously Infinite was a much smaller company.
Sure.
So when we now, compared to where we were 3 years back and now, it's a huge difference. When we go to companies of similar, opportunity, so they take us a lot more seriously because, we have now a demonstrated track record. This is a platform that we have built. Here is the customer. This is the subscriber base that we are supporting for the last 4 years. It's been a successful service that we have deployed. So it does make life slightly simpler than what it was in 2010. So as we move forward and start adding more products to that portfolio, which we're currently doing, in fact, in addition to RCS, last year we launched 3 more platforms. One of them is what we call as the enterprise messaging service, which is a two-way secured SMS communication. And if you look at today's technology or today's world, you have one-way SMS notification.
Yeah.
If you're a customer of a bank or a credit card company, every time there's a transaction, you get a notification. That's what is happening today. But the future is where an individual is able to respond to that message. So there's another huge opportunity. Whether it's hospitals, trading companies, banks, credit card companies, you can use those platforms.
Sure.
So that's another very exciting and interesting product that we launched last year.
Now, despite the changes in the global economy, IT is a sector which has maintained its growth trajectory despite the economic headwinds as well. Do you see IT remaining one of the biggest employers in our country in the year going forward as well in 2014?
See, as far as the overall environment is concerned, first of all, we went through the downturn over the last couple of years, but in spite of that, if you look at, industry has grown compared to other industries. So there is still a huge opportunity out there in the marketplace that Indian companies can leverage. I mean, having said that, in spite of all that growth of Indian IT companies, the share that we today have in the world market is not very big. So there is an opportunity. It will, in my view, will continue to grow. And if you look at the NASSCOM forecast for 2020, I mean, everybody is bullish about it.
Yeah.
However, the key is now, it can't be the same thing that we've done for the last 20 years. You can't just be providing pure play software services and leveraging cost and global delivery. So the growth and the opportunity will come from some of these newer, exciting areas where you leverage the technology, what you call SMAC, and social mobility, messaging, cloud. And a lot of companies, whether traditional IT services companies who have been in the business for the last so many years, have already moved into it. They're building frameworks or they're creating expertise in that area. But more importantly, a lot of companies that are actually building IP, not just providing service in these areas, are coming up. So many startups are coming up and they're getting funded. So that's a very exciting opportunity for India overall and for the Indian IT industry.
Now, at Infinite Computer Solutions, do you see yourself improving margins with offshoring and, of course, IP leverage solutions as well going forward?
Yes, we do. I mean, if you look at our business, I mean, we have three very clear, distinct businesses that we run. Till last year, as a corporate strategy, we had said that we will grow at about 25 to 30% CAGR as far as revenue is concerned, and keep an operating margin at around 16 to 17%. That's our stated strategy. Now, what has happened this year is to respond to some of these opportunities that we spoke about in mobility, social media, and so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
We decided to make significant investments this year, because to take care of the growth for the next 3-4 years, as I said earlier on, that you need to have more than something different than just cost arbitrage. You need to have a value proposition where you can base your services on IP that you own, or platforms or products that you own and sell to the marketplace, or actually have the ability to engage with the client, not just on traditional time and material or fixed bid basis, but actually on a risk-reward basis.
Sure.
So we decided to invest about $12 million this year into building those expertise. So we're creating a framework, which is a patient care framework, and that's very relevant given what is happening in the healthcare space in the U.S. So we're creating that framework, which is a wellness framework, where the providers and the insurance companies can proactively monitor the health of an individual that they have insured. Because you see what's happening after the Obama law that has come into place, there are millions and millions of Americans who are coming under the insurance cover for the first time. So that's obviously creating a lot of stress in the system. So the insurance companies want to proactively know if something is going wrong with an individual, rather than wait for something to happen and then they have to pay for the medical insurance. So what we're seeing that opportunity, and what we're building is a platform that takes the data input from different devices that are there in the marketplace today.
Sure.
Devices that monitor your blood pressure, your ECG, and whole bunch of things, and put it on the cloud. And this platform now leverages all these technologies that we're talking about. Put that information of patients on the cloud. Use analytics, predictable analytics, to actually figure out, given now this is his BP reading over the last so many months, this is his ECG, this is his heart rate, what can potentially go wrong?
Sure. And
give that analysis to the providers, to the insurance, to the payees, to the insurance companies, that this potentially could be a problem area, and that data is available on any device. So that's where the mobility comes into the play. So you can have it on iPad, you can have it on iPhone, or any other smartphones. So that's something that we're building this year, and which hopefully we'll be able to take to the market next year. So coming back to the question, so going forward, what we believe is that while the revenue starts coming in from these high margin products and platforms and businesses, so the operating margin will start keep expanding. So we believe next year we will be back to what we have stated is about 16 to 17% operating margin. And we would like to stay with that and see if we still have growth in growing the revenue further.
Sure.
And keeping the margin at that level.
Sure. Good time now for us to play our chip shot.
Yes, sure.
that note, it's a good time now for us to take a quick breather on tea time. We will remain in conversation with Upinder Zutshi on the other side as well, where we will get to know a few numbers about Infinite Computer Solutions as well. Thank you for staying with us on Tea Time. We're still in conversation with the Managing Director and CEO of Infinite Computer Solutions. Now, unlike other companies which have about 45% of on-site presence, Infinite has 75% of on-site presence. Let's go a little over that. I mean, this is, of course, due to your high client profile as well.
It's because of that, but also, I think, largely because of our business model is slightly different. Right from the start, I mean, we never positioned ourselves as an Indian offshore company.
Yeah.
When we are in the US, or US being our major market, we work and operate like an American company. That does work in the US, at our US facilities and R&D centers with US staff.
Yeah.
And wherever there's an opportunity to do work offshore, so we do that. So offshore is really one of the services that we provide to our customer.
Sure.
So as a result of that, a lot of the business, and especially a lot of the high margin business that we do, to give an example, we talked about the mobility and messaging platforms that we build. The entire R&D center is in Chicago.
Sure.
The team is, Americans. We have, after we are a little over 5,000 employees worldwide. Out of that, more than 35% of employees are in the US,
Yeah.
and who are hired locally in the US. So that will continue to be the case as far as Infinite is concerned, because there's a lot of business that we do does not have much to do with India.
Sure.
And I believe, and I think you're seeing now the trends in the marketplace, more and more companies are becoming global, really global. You can't just be operating out of India and then try to expect business. That the customer is not expecting that. You actually, if you're in a particular country, you have to be and belong to that country. So that's how we've always been. Now, right now, our split is 75-20-25. Going forward, at best, it could be 70-30. But that's about it. Because two major businesses that we do on top of, and both of them are very, very differentiated services, are completely done in the US. One is product engineering, where we actually take over the legacy platforms from our customers, take over the operating costs in terms of people costs, labs, facilities, and all of them are in the US, and execute that business in the US. And obviously, the strength being we are in India, India is a strength. So wherever possible, part of that work is done out of India. But the majority of the employee base and the work that gets done continues to be done in the US. So as a result of the revenue that we generate is significantly higher in the US than what we do in India.
Your outlook on the next 2 years in terms of compounded annual growth rate going forward, your EBITDA margins, and of course some sort of a future guidance if you could give on your company.
As far as the guidance is concerned, obviously being a public company, so we're given a guidance for this year.
Sure.
So, and the guidance is 15% revenue growth. As far as the outlook is concerned, what we had said at the start of the year, on a broadly speaking, over the next 4 years, we are looking at a 20% CAGR as far as revenue is concerned, while maintaining the margin at about 16 to 17%. So that's the broad outlook. But in terms of a specific guidance, which we give on a year-on-year basis, so this year we believe will be about 290 to 295 million in revenue.
So your tryst with golf is something that I want to explore in much more detail. But let's finish our game first now that we're on the green.
Okay.
Your tryst with the green, really. How long have you been playing golf?
I was in the US, so I started in about 10 years back.
Sure.
So I played there for about 4 years, and then after that, for a period of 3 or 4 years, I stopped completely. Then I started again. It's been 3 years now. It's been about 4 years now.
Interesting. So, which corporate golf challenges do you really enjoy playing?
It's a challenge to get some time out to play golf, especially the commitments that one has for Infinite and the travel schedule that.
Yeah.
and then whatever little time you have, and then you have to figure out how to deal with your wife and your son. You know,
But you do go over to the US quite a lot. Don't you play over there?
not in the tournament, but what we try to do is, you know, what I have, you know, tried to do within Infinite is to create that culture of golf for my own selfish interest, so that more and more employees start, you know, will take to golf. In fact, in our campus in Bangalore, we've created a par 3 hole. You know, you have with the bunker and water, and so a lot of employees have started playing golf.
So it's just one hole that
it's just
you
one
have
hole
at
with
the
multiple
campus?
tees. So you know, then you hit from different tees.
So when people are bored of working, they just go hit some.
They just
shots
go
on the
hit,
green.
and then we're also now putting you know, a simulator where you can practice your swing.
It's lovely.
So it's a different, it's a employee engagement tool also.
So it doesn't look like you're far away from having your own corporate golf championship also very soon.
I'm glad you said that. I think we're having it next month.
Really?
Yeah, we are. I mean, it's going to be the first year. Next month is in Feb. So it's we are aligning ourselves with certain CSR activities and NGOs, and actually it's instituting what we call as Infinite Challenge Cup.
What is your life mantra really?
One shouldn't let life pass you by. Just live the moment.
Well, so the wonderful Eckhart Now philosophy of the power of now is something that you propose as well. Indeed, lovely to have you on the show.
Lovely meeting with you. Thank you very much for inviting me.
It was
Great playing with you.
amazing to play this hole with you and have
Thank
you on
you.
the show as well. With that, it's a wrap from me, Chaiti Narula, and Upinder Zutshi, the CEO and Managing Director of Infinite Computer Solutions, from hole number 12, par 5 at Clover Greens right here in Karnataka. I will see you next week again with another dynamic CEO from India Incorporated. Until then, as cliched as they may always sound, enjoy the flight of a good drive, and may the sport be with you.